The only thing standing between you and your dream body is Ozempic, steroids, Photoshop, photo editing, a bunch of gym clothing and accessories that have no functional utility but make your photos look really good on Instagram, height, genetics, falling deeply and irrevocably in love with someone and then having them break up with you so you have more motivation, friends that are hotter or more successful than you, also for motivation, a completely new gym routine because you stalled out on this one several months ago but you're too attached to it to evolve, the money to afford all the protein and supplements that you want to buy, and spending more time on social media where everybody is hotter and funnier than you, so you feel bad about yourself, which motivates you even more.
Today's video is very simple. We're going to be talking about how fitness influencers are keeping you broke and unfit. Let's get straight into it. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I Impatience. And on this channel, we have conversations about society's impacts on our lives and our finances and how we can take back that power and make more intentional decisions and take those actions for ourselves to improve our financial and personal life. And today's video is on a topic I've been meaning to talk about because its prevalence is astounding and I'm so sad. And every time I see it on social media, I'm like, this is out of control. And as somebody who is into health and is very concerned about her physical health, eating right, exercising, just staying active overall and getting healthy overall, I can tell you that I have been noticing these challenges, and more than ever, media literacy is very important. In today's social media saturated world, the ideal body, or what's seen as that, has not just been sculpted by doctors, nutritionists, health professionals, but rather is being curated by social media influencers. Social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, YouTube even, and sometimes now even LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn is filled with these influencers who are fitness personalities who are pushing out workouts, supplement what I eat in a day videos, their before and after transformations. And while some of these are genuinely motivational, much of it feeds into the system of unattainable body standard, overconsumption, and financial strain. And rather than promoting a healthy, sustainable way of living, many influencers are just peddling straight up illusions. And the public, which is you and I, we are paid both in money and our self-esteem. We're going to start with the problem of the fitness fantasy, as I call it, because it's a fantasy. It would be nice if we could trust everything we saw on social media. Wouldn't life be so much easier if there was a way to authenticate that this is real, maybe this is real, maybe this is AI altered or AI generated. But as we can see, we're fighting a much bigger issue here. And it's not just with the AI things, which is happening actually. AI influencers are becoming a thing, and I'm sure with due time, AI fitness influencers will become a thing, or maybe even are, and we're not aware of it yet. Here is the bigger issue. We are already fighting with the authenticity of the real people that we know actually exist. What is real? What is just social media rage baiting? And what is trying to curate an image that makes them seem perfect and people want to follow them? It starts with when we see social media influencers as the epitome of health, from their sculpted abs, perfect physique, smooth skin, sometimes glowy even when they're working out, what seems to be endless amounts of energy, all with the side of their picture perfect meals. And what is shown is already a high standard, but what we don't see often is even more telling, because some of them are just normal people who are taking their health very seriously. I would say I identify with a lot of it. I cook fresh foods. I eat a lot of healthy foods. I do go to the gym 5 days a week consistently. So I'm not saying a lot of these are impossible, but for some, this is their full-time job, and they have access to a gym in a way that most of us could only dream of. Well, some actually prep their meals, others don't. Some of them have private chefs or meal prepping services that makes their food, which makes them eating healthy so much easier. Now, it's still a choice, so they're still eating healthy, which is a great thing. But some of them are not being as transparent as to how they actually prep their healthy meal. And I always wonder this when some of them film videos of what I eat in a day and they're cooking every single meal. It's very telling that some of them don't have traditional jobs. Some of us do. I would probably prep my breakfast, but my lunch is always meal prepped and my dinner is also prepped because I don't have time every evening to cook a fresh meal. These are things that we can all reasonably do with sufficient time management and finding the ways that we can fit exercising regularly into our lives. I've done it, so it's very possible. But in other cases, such as certain supplements, certain legal or maybe illegal supplements at that, and I'm talking about steroids, and even further than that, cosmetic procedures, the girls getting BBLs and then trying to sell you a booty program, or etching their abs and then trying to sell you an ab workout program. These are all things that are actually taking place on social media. I'm literally not making up any of this. I do not want to point to any specific influencers only because there is no proof. HIPAA, getting cosmetic procedure is very much something between them and their surgeon. The surgeon can't confirm unless they've confirmed it, but sometimes they're the telltale signs and we all see it and we're thinking, you know what? I don't believe it all the way. There's some who have been transparent and we appreciate that, and others grew only their booty, not any other parts of their body, but only their booty 5 to 10 inches in a year. And you can believe whatever you want to believe, but if you believe that, I have a bridge in Kansas to sell you. And then there's weight loss drugs. Ozempic.
Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. If eligible.
And Wegovy too. They have become all the rage. We've been talking about Ozempic and Wegovy for like the past 2, maybe 3 years. All over, it's widespread. Now everybody's on Ozempic or some sort of GLP-1 drug. Everybody.
Look out, 'cause here I Have you always had trouble with your weight? Me too.
Discover the power of Wegovy.
While now people are more transparent, there's still some who feel ashamed to say it. Recently, I did hear about an influencer selling her macros program, and it turned out she was actually losing weight with her weight loss medication for over a year.
Have a real, honest conversation. If you've been following me for a while, you know I've tried it all. Keto, macro, workouts, lifestyle shifts, and I have always shared what's worked and what hasn't. I started working with a doctor, and we did decide to add a GLP-1 to my plan. GLP-1s are not magic. They don't change your lifestyle overnight. It's just a tool to help. I still had to show up for my meals, track my macros, drink my water, go on walks, do my workouts, everything that I already teach and believe in. It just helped me regain a sense of control.
And she never told her followers, even though they were like, oh wait, you're doing so good. We're struggling to lose the last 20 pounds. You've been able to lose it all in a very short amount of time compared to how long you were struggling to lose it. And then they found out that she's actually on weight loss medication. Who would have thought? And as the skinny body type comes back into style for women, we're leading into summer bikini season or swimwear season. These misrepresentations have become even more damaging for the average person. And it's perpetuating a cycle of self-doubt, low self-esteem, low self-worth, shame from comparison, and self-doubt as to if you can ever look like that. And what's the result? A surge of body dysmorphia, a diet-obsessed culture, and I'm talking about unhealthy diets such as ED, and the overconsumption of quick fixes. The way people will try to quickly lose 20 pounds, quickly lose 5 pounds, quickly lose this. And there's all these flat tummy teas. Remember that lollipop? I think Kim Kardashian, one of the Kardashians, was selling it, and it was supposed to repress your appetite so that you can lose weight. All those gimmicky weight loss that we just know that it doesn't work, because diet culture has been an obsessive thing in America since the heroin chic era, and probably even before. The information they give you, because taking time to write an ebook, of course they should be compensated, but other times I'm thinking, what are your qualifications to write this? And all this leads to financial troubles. So let's move into the next section, discussing the financial implications. What is the cost of chasing this ideal? Staying fit and healthy should not break the bank. It's something that should be able to fit into your life as long as you make time for it. And as you prioritize cooking at home and exercising consistently, this should lead to improved health and staying fit and healthy. But for whatever reason, social media says otherwise, because if for nothing else, they want to be able to sell to you. And users are consistently bombarded with expensive activewear, supplements, gym membership, online fitness programs, detox kits, meal subscription, and must-have fitness gadgets. And this commodification of health turns what should be a personal journey into a consumerist nightmare. Whenever I see somebody working out and then you go into the description, it says that buy my ebook for $5.99, $10.99. For what? I'm not saying people should not be able to profit off of their personal journeys. What are your qualifications to be selling this as a product? Are you a nutritionist? Are you a certified fitness instructor? Where is this information coming from? Because your personal journey might not look the same as others. And I'm not saying you can't share it, but when you start to sell it, that's where I start to question certain things. And then all the cute fitness outfits that people are wearing, it's almost like it's no longer just about getting healthy. You have to look good doing it as well. So people get 2-piece, 1-piece skirts and Lululemon and all these other super expensive active wear. I'm going to admit I do have one expensive set of active wear and I bought it as a treat to myself, but I would not be able to afford it if that was what all my active wear looks like. Easily a set can run you over $250. Imagine if you're going to the gym 5 times a week. That's over $1,000. But since everything has to be an aesthetics nowadays, being part of the fitness and it-girl aesthetics includes dressing the part, which is expensive. Today, the fitness industry is worth over $100 billion globally. And a lot of that money comes from everyday people such as you and I because of influencers. And because a lot of people are desperate for results and quick results, they almost feel like purchasing whatever this fitness influencer is selling them is a way of buying into looking like the fitness influencer, having their lifestyle. It's almost like they're purchasing that person in a bottle. So they think that buying their fitness and active wear, buying their $60 protein powder, taking their $300 per month coaching session is an immediate guarantee to be that influencer or to look like them or to have their lifestyle. And this is often supported and perpetuated by parasocial relationships we have, not just with celebrities, but now influencers. This tactic of if you spend more and buy more of whatever I'm using, whatever I have to sell you, then automatically you buy into my lifestyle looking like me, is quickly leading people into being in debt, leaving them broke and burnt out. When it comes to fitness and health, oftentimes less is more. It's about consistency more than anything else. It's about your day-to-day choices. Choosing to say drink water instead of drinking that soda. Choosing to go to the gym for an hour a day instead of staying at home. Choosing to prep your meals and eating healthy meals instead of snacking and buying food out. Those make all the difference rather than what you look like while you're working out. When did that ever matter? And this will ultimately cause not just a physical burnout, but an emotional and mental toll on yourself. So let's talk about that. When a lot of fitness influencers portray being healthy as having abs, 6-pack for men, the low body fat percentage, and a woman, you barely have any type of fat in any part of your skin. You'll have a super flat stomach that no matter what angles you move at, it still stays super flat. This leads to people internalizing that, causing them not to feel so good about themselves because they feel they're not good enough. And typically, no matter what type of health they get to, they feel like they'll never be good enough. The more they chase perfection, the more disillusioned and discouraged they become. The consistent comparison can lead to anxiety, depression, and a distorted relationship with food and exercise. It can also be a trigger cycle of extreme dieting, binge eating, and giving up altogether when perfection is not achieved. People who actually start their fitness journey with the goal of becoming healthy, a better version of themselves, can quickly find themselves overwhelmed with all of this information and all of these facts that they're hearing about what they should do, what they shouldn't do, how they should look, what they shouldn't look, how their progress should be. So they can feel like they're not making progress when they actually are. For example, you may go on a fitness influencer's page who's talking about how they are losing 5 pounds per week. You are only losing 1 to 2 pounds per week, which is actually healthy. Losing weight about 2 pounds per week is considered the healthier way by most professionals, medical professionals. But then you're seeing this person who's talking about losing 5 pounds in 1 week, and then you're like, well, maybe I should be doing more. Maybe I should eat less. Maybe I should be going to the gym 3 times a day and staying there for 2 hours each. Not realizing that that person losing 5 pounds per week, maybe has just been 1 week that they lost 5 pounds and they might have done something extreme to achieve it, but it's still not going to be consistent. Nobody's going to be consistently losing 5 pounds per week. And what I've realized, it's not about the lack of discipline. It's the system itself. It's a system that rewards aesthetics over health and actual progress towards a healthy lifestyle. Because we cannot really tell how somebody feels. We can assume based on what they show us. but what they look like, or what we think they look like after they Photoshop and put a whole bunch of filters, that is what the algorithm pushes versus what actually is important. The solution is not to sit at home and do nothing or to opt out of health. Of course not. So let's talk about living a healthy lifestyle without all the hype. This is what I do, and I want to share some of what I do, what some professionals recommend. Leave the social media. If you want to lose weight, if you want to live a healthier lifestyle, if you want to actually see health in your life, you can achieve that. Over the past 3 years, I've experienced trying to gain weight and actually successfully gaining weight, then gaining too much weight. First, I wanted to gain weight. I went from like 120 pounds, ended up gaining probably close to 30 pounds. I felt like I'd gained way too much weight, so I ended up losing a bunch of weight, which was probably about 15 pounds, finding a weight that works best for me. So I've been through this, and all through it, I've looked at social media, I've looked at YouTubers, and I've definitely mastered the way of blocking out noise, knowing what's realistic for me and my body, what my personal health goals are that may not look the same as anybody else's, and how I can maintain a healthy lifestyle, because that is more important than any of this. Fitness should be about feeling better, moving more, and taking care of your body, not chasing unattainable images and draining your bank account. Here are some practical skills to stay grounded. Number one, all of the unrealistic accounts. I also like to block them when I see it. Whenever I see something that is like really sketchy, I'm like, okay, you know what? Not interested. And when it comes up again, I click not interested. Block that. Intentionally take that out of your social media scope. Some of them will come back once in a while, but make sure that you block it. When I open my For You page on Instagram, it's filled with things of health, hair, education, engineering jokes. I found ways to curate it just the way I like it. And when something comes to disrupt it, I like to block it, because I do not want that in my life. I don't want that affecting me physically, mentally, emotionally. So I'd rather just block it. So if you found out that a social media influencer is being deceptive in their representation of themselves, whether photoshopping their pictures or lying about weight loss medication or how they're losing weight, gaining weight, just take it out. There's so many more out there that we should not be rewarding bad behavior. Reward transparent influencers and those who are actually speaking the truth and making progress towards health, fitness, and wellness, not just those who are trying to perpetuate an aesthetic. The next thing is simplicity. Simplicity is one of the best things for consistency. So you want to start asking yourself, what can I do? Simple things I can add into my life that will help benefit me in health. One of the things is going to the gym. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I used to go way more than that when I was trying to lose weight. Sometimes I would even go twice a day, in the morning and the evening. And I actually like exercising. But after I lost the weight, I didn't want to lose anymore. So instead, I decided to go once a day. And I switched from a lot of cardio to a lot more building of muscle, because that's where my health goals lie. And just those simple things, okay? And I don't need super complicated machines. Just the simple things we do can make the greatest changes. If you don't have access to a gym, what do you have access to? Walking. I bought a jump rope like a year ago, and I started jumping ropes because it was a fun way of doing cardio when I was cardio heavy. I still jump ropes once in a while because it's a really fun thing to do. And those make a whole lot of difference than going super hard in the gym. I'm not saying you shouldn't. That doesn't have to be what works for everybody, because your health goals might be different. Moving, walking, doing some intensive exercises as well consistently is what would lead you in the long run to making changes. But even beyond that is the food. What we eat affects our body way more than just the exercising. So what are you eating? Are you drinking lots of soda, eating lots of sweets, not eating enough vegetables, not drinking enough water? Those are very important things. Apps are like 20% made in the gym. The other 80% is all about your diet. So if you want to see your body change in the best ways, food is where you have to target. Add on exercising. But what you eat makes the biggest difference. And it doesn't have to be full-on organic everything. It doesn't have to be from some expensive food prep service. It can be just food that you lay out to eat. Do your research, grocery shop. You can still do it on a budget. Remove junk food, which is often expensive. We don't like to talk about that, but junk food can be very expensive. That bag of chips you're eating one a day, that's like $5, and you're eating it every single day. Rather take that money, buy healthy food, buy nutritious foods, add to your diet, and you will see the changes in your body over time. And I talked about consistency, but the next thing is also focus, consistency, and seeking health as your goal, not perfection. perfection. Don't have this image in your head as to what you would look like once you get to health. So for guys, you don't want to think you're gonna have like 6 or 8 packs all ripped, big muscles. What does that tell you? I think sometimes it even looks kind of intimidating, but that's my personal opinion. Health can look differently on everybody. As women, that can be really hard for us. You think you're gonna have a snatched waist, big butt, and big hips, but small legs, and like proportion in all the ways that you see on social media. It just might not be your body type. It might be that no matter how many squats you do, you're just not going to have the most perfect round booty. Are you going to accept that, or is that going to be a reason why you jump on a cosmetic train rather than focusing on health? You have to be very, very realistic. Exercising can help improve certain things, but it's not a fix-all for every single insecurity you have. And that's why it's important to fall in love with the healthier version of you, not just you think the healthier version of you would look like. Let's be realistic. The next thing is to use free resources. Today with the internet, you can access so much information. You don't need to read a specific ebook, pay for any overpriced program in order to be healthy. I'm not saying you shouldn't support fitness influencers. I think a lot of them who are doing good jobs deserve support. But if you don't have the money, there are a lot of free resources. I'm actually a subscriber of Chloe Ting, and I've followed several of her programs. I think it's been since 2020, probably just past 5 years when I did her first 2-week shred program. At the time when the world was closing down, I was dun, 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 dun.
Hey everyone, today's ab workout is just 10 minutes, but it's gonna be intense. Your abs will love you and hate you at the same time.
You know that sound? Oh my goodness. Doing up and down planks and burpees in my basement. I was actually doing it with my best friend. She introduced me to Chloe Ting, and she has really good programs for free. I also followed MathFit. I think Bowflex Fitness Advisors, some yoga pages. There are so much free exercises online that you can use. You don't have to pay hundreds of dollars per month to follow online programs when you don't have the money. You can use free resources. You can also probably go to the library and get some free DVDs of fitness programs and follow them. And then when it comes to going to the gym, personally, I don't have a gym membership really. I actually go to the fitness center at my gym. At my previous apartment, they didn't have a gym. I worked out in my apartments. It was carpets. It was much easier. And I've never had a gym membership. Unpopular opinion. I think I'm pretty healthy and I've never had a gym membership. And even if you want to get a gym membership, it doesn't have to be the priciest one. Don't pay the equivalent of rent for a gym membership. You can go to a gym that is under $50 per month and still have a good workout, because it's not about the price you're paying. It's about what you do and how often you actually go to the gym. There's some people who think the reason why they're not healthy is because they don't have a gym membership. There's so many things you can do at home before the gym membership and committing to it. That's what a lot of gyms bank on. The fact that at the beginning of the year, a lot of people come, their New Year's resolution is to go to the gym. So they come and sign up for a gym membership, exercise maybe in January, and that's it. They drop off. And yet they're still paying the subscription over and over again. Just because you're paying the subscription does not mean that you're getting the benefit. You actually have to do the day-to-day work. And my last suggestion is to separate health from appearance. Now, sometimes they do go together. When you're fit for consistent amount of time, you often look fit. There is a way of being realistic. I personally do not subscribe that somebody can be 300-400 pounds and be healthy. If you know somebody who is completely healthy at 300 pounds plus, let me know. Can they run up the stairs without huffing and puffing, breaking a knee? What is their quality of life like? And I'm not saying that just because somebody is on the thinner side, they're healthy. No. You can be skinny fat. Yeah, you can be skinny and still have like 35% body fat. You can be skinny and still not be able to run a mile, just like somebody who is 400 pounds. When we're talking about fitness, when we're talking about muscle mass, those things do tend to be more visible. And then after a certain while, when you see like overgrowth of muscle, what looks like the work of steroids, I don't consider that to be health. I consider that to just be more so bodybuilding than health. You have to divorce this idea that health and fitness always go together. They can, but they don't always go together. And when you begin to actually focus on your day-to-day habits, they will tell you if you're healthy. What you're eating, how you're sleeping, managing stress, focusing on strength training, focusing on endurance and the clarity of your mind. That is when we actually see the true benefits of living a healthy lifestyle. Now it's time to head into the conclusion. Fitness influencers have spent a lot of time curating and creating this environment and society where we are looking at the physical appearance when we're talking about health. They have created a culture of aspiration, but it is up to us to choose authenticity over illusion. Health is not a product you buy or a filter you apply. It's built through intentional habits, patience, and self-respect. Don't let edited bodies, commercialized routines make you feel like you're falling behind. You don't need a gym membership or a new supplement to start showing up for your health. You just need to start, be consistent, and keep going even when it's hard. And always remember that true health and real progress does not come with the promo code. And with that, I'm bringing this video to an end. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope this video added value to your life. And if it did, hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. And come back to my channel on Monday for my next video. Thank you all again. Let me know in the comments section, what is your thoughts on the state of health and fitness on social media today? Are you checked out or are you all the way checked in? I look forward to reading your comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.